Now, MANDA Ben has been with the Brahma Kumaris for yonks. I think since the age of 18, yes? No?
21.
21. I'm not going to ask how old she is, okay? But she's been around a long, long time. But in that time, she has touched the hearts of so many souls, literally thousands of souls. And it's so wonderful that you've come. Yeah?
Thank you.
And she's actually a Leicester girl. Yeah. She came here. Her mum's at the front. Yeah. Gusam Ben, Om Shanti. All right. So it's really nice being with her because I feel like I'm part with one of my senior sisters. So Christmas, it's amazing. I'm just thinking, you're not a practicing Christian, nor am I, and yet we embrace the spirit of Christmas. Why?
I think, first of all, hello everyone, Om Shanti. Om Shanti. I think, first of all, because we're in a country which celebrates Christmas. And Christmas, somehow, when you're here, you feel like it belongs to you. Because the joy, the celebration, the happiness that this occasion creates, everyone wants to be part of it. And whilst not everybody understands the significance and the meaning of it, but the energy, the vibration that it creates, everybody wants to be part of it. And it's a joyous occasion. It creates something newness, creates something different. So why not?
So what's your message from this festivity? I mean, I do find that a lot of the festivals that take place have very similar messages. Mm-hmm. And yet, just as we are now celebrating Christmas, many others who are not, say, practicing Hindus, for example, they celebrate Diwali, and yet they look for that message behind. What's your message for Christmas?
My feeling is that Christmas is something that enables us to reckon or embrace the spirit of generosity, to embrace the spirit of a sense of belonging to everyone, because this is what the world needs right now. And I think that Christianity, when they first started celebrating, it was the birth of Christ, because Christ brought the message of hope, Christ brought the message of love, Christ brought the message of encouragement, I think. And whilst we may not directly recognize or associate with Christianity, this is something that all of us want to be part of. And so whether it's Diwali, whether it's Hanukkah, whether it's Christmas, the message is that of light, of newness, of bringing together, the message of joy, and everybody wants to be part of that.
So these aspects of virtues that people yearn for, where do they come from?
They are inside all of us. Firstly, I would say they're originally inside each one of us. And when we remember that we're souls, we're spiritual beings, then we become we're able to recognize that they're inside of us. And we've forgotten that. We've forgotten that we're souls. And even if we do know from our own traditions that we're spiritual beings, then we know it as information, but we don't practice it or experience it or live it. And so we seek to create occasions that remind us of that. But also our own connection with God, because God is the one who provides these qualities or triggers these qualities inside of us, because He's exactly the same. And so when we come into the company of God, in the company of the divine, then these qualities become triggered inside of us. And therefore, we all want to be part of those occasions.
That sounds very sensible, but in a world which is consumed by selfish motives, driven by their own anger, their arrogance, how on earth do people actually connect with those virtues that you say that are within all of us?
Well, first and foremost, you have to want to connect. You have to want to take responsibility and recognize that they are inside of me, and I want to re-merge those qualities inside myself. And so what we need to do is to be able to, while we are even here experiencing joy and happiness and togetherness, even in this time, it is possible to go inside ourselves to create moments of peace, moments of silence, moments that allow us to recognize that inner state of being so that we can actually experience it in the moment, but also when that experience grows inside of me, then when I'm in situations and circumstances, that becomes my point of reference. I'm reminded of that experience that I am, and then I'm able to actually interact with that experience in mind.
That's interesting, because I was just thinking that we have these special festivals throughout the year. They come once a year. And for some people, it's just once a year event, and they look forward to it so much. And then, they think about all the things that you've just talked about. And then the day comes and the day goes, and it's like back to their mundane business.
Yes.
So how do they sort of keep that festival experience, that festival, that realization for the whole of the year?
Yeah, this is a good question, and this is something that we all have to remember, that all these qualities, all these kind of say a connectedness that we want to feel with ourselves, with our hearts, with our intentions, and that sort of a connection with each other, we have to do it every single day.
Okay.
How about making every day a festivity?
So every day could be a Christmas day.
Every day could be a Christmas
a Diwali.
Every day could be a Diwali.
Every day could be an Eid.
Every single day could be an Eid. Not necessarily in this external splendor that we generate for an occasion, but when I understand, when I have the meaning behind it, when I'm actually practice it, then every day is a joyous day, a beautiful day, because that comes from inside myself. Not because I'm getting lots of presents, not because it's a party at Harmony House, and not because it's party somewhere else, but it's because I am that inside my own self.
At this time, the families get together. It's an opportunity to renew, reforge old relationships and even create new ones. If you're at home, for example, you want to create that atmosphere. I mean, I do find there's a lot of disconnection between generations and between people. What can we do to sort of bring people, become more connected to each other?
It's a very simple. I'm remembering Dadi Janki, many people here will know her. She used to tell the story about how when you come to the West, then you have to ring people up, your friends and family, to book an appointment to go and see them. And whereas in India, wherever you are, you have the thought of going to visit someone, and you're going into the next village or a village 3 doors down or whatever it might be. But you said, let's go and see so-and-so. You get in a car, or you get in a rickshaw, or you get in a bullock cart, and you go and see them. You don't have to ask, but here, this kind of formality and official kind of relationships that we create, on the one hand, we say it's respect because people don't have time these days, so we create opportunities or we create appointments to go and see people. But actually, when there is this sense of belonging, this sense of, this feeling of, apanapan is this word that comes to my mind in Hindi or Gujarati or whatever. When you have that, then every time you meet your friends and family, this is an occasion to celebrate. It's an occasion to be together. Because, the one feeling, that one experience that every single person wants to have is that I belong. I belong to someone, I belong to a group of people, I belong to something. I'm not alone in this world. And to generate that feeling is a very important thing. And it's the kind of thing that Harmony House here does, creating this feeling of belonging, openness, and warmth. And so why not get together on a regular basis? I know in this country everybody's busy, but needless to say, one of the things that keeps us divided is our devices even. That, we're busy on our computers, we're busy on our phones, we're busy on television, watching television, not on television, watching television. And this is considered to be a sacred time that nobody should interfere in. But is it really? Parents to spend more time with children. They talk about playing games in the way they used to do in the old days. Parents taking them out. I remember my sister, when the children were young, 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday or a Sunday, they had to get ready and get out the house. They weren't allowed to stay home because she wanted to spend time with them. She wanted to be with them and do things with them instead of, hang about the house because I need a rest and I need to be easy and whatever. But to actually, traditionally, the way we used to spend time without those devices is a very important thing.
I think you've just touched on a very sort of topic that's current throughout the world, is that people are sort of trapped in their devices, and everyone's busy connecting with each other through various social media platforms, and yet whilst they talk they feel disconnected. There's no feeling. It's not the same like you and I. We're having a conversation. We can feed off the energy. We can, that body language. But it seems like so characterless. Now, in the world which is very much driven by machines, and everyone's saying, well, you got to change. You got to do this. Well, what can I do to sort of restore that relationship where I can use the machines, but not that it dominates my life altogether? So I can actually have a loving and warm relationship with other people.
I think what is important is, of course, those devices have become our lifeline these days, in the sense to stay in touch with the world. If you want to go A to B, you need your device, your maps and all of this kind of thing. But actually, what about having a fixed time when you use your device or you keep your device, and put the device away at other times so that you're not constantly distracted by it? That's the first thing that comes to my mind, the obvious thing of limiting the time on our devices. Communicating on devices, but also picking up the phone and having a conversation instead of sending a text message or a WhatsApp message or whatever, because that personal connection is such an important thing. But in our own homes, even, one of the things about Christmas is getting together and sharing food together. Food, on the one hand, can be a big distraction, but it's also something that brings people together. But for us, for instance, it's important to prepare food with love and receive it with love and offer it with love. And so just keeping that in mind, that when we're bringing people together, we're bringing them together to share food, but food prepared with love. These are simple little things. It just adds one little change in attitude and mindset. I'm not doing it because I have to do it, because it's Christmas, because it's Diwali. We have to do this, we have to do it, and we do it because we enjoy it, but we also do it because we want to share love. We first of all want to recognize love as our own intrinsic nature, love as a state of being, not as a commodity. We sometimes think of love as a commodity. I give love, receive love, but it's not about giving or receiving. It's about being love. So when I'm able to be love, I'm able to share love simply through my being, simply through my presence, simply through my quality of interactions.
I think I was just listening to what you said is about that connection. It's at a human level. It's so wonderful. But sadly, in this world, there's a lot of abuse that also takes place. People get exploited. In a situation like that, what can we do for others who are sort of trapped in those sort of circumstances? I mean, you talked about virtues, you talked about it's within ourselves. How can we liberate others as well from their sort of bondages?
Of course, I personally feel it's important to live the principle of truth, to call spade a spade, and not be afraid of doing that. That's one thing. But it does take courage to do that. It also means that you too have to live your life on the basis of the principle of truth in the first place. But the other thing is that there is so much going on in our world today. One of the ways in which we have to do that and can do it is really through our own vibrations, through our own thoughts and feelings that we generate, and recognizing that whatever thoughts and feelings we generate reach other people. If you generate positive feelings of compassion and kindness towards others, someone in particular, those feelings will reach that person. You don't have to sit there bringing that person at the forefront of your mind, but you are conscious that here's someone that needs courage, that needs your support, and with your own thoughts, your own feelings, really developing that ability to be still and quiet and concentrated, having trust with your own thoughts and feelings, and know that one day those feelings will work for that particular individual. Or generally in our world today, for instance, tomorrow is World Meditation Hour, and we will have World Meditation Hour here tomorrow. And that occasion around the world is created by the Brahma Kumaris so that people can come together and generate this incredible energy of compassion, love, and peace simply through our being, so that when collectively we do it, we're able to share that with the world. And that then actually helps people. They don't need to know where it comes from, but it comes from somewhere. And it comes from us when we create and when we participate together.
Now, just to sort of just remind you, tomorrow it's 6:30 to 7:30, so you're most welcome. However, some people say, well, it's all right for you. You're surrounded by nice people. You have a very loving environment. You come to a beautiful place like this, and you also stay at GRC, which is absolutely fantastic. It's like heaven on earth. Anyway, a lot of people are not so fortunate. They are in situations where there's just constant bickering, arguments. So what can they do to sort of initiate that vibration that you were talking about?
Well, it begins with the self. It only begins with the self. You can have a beautiful place, but doesn't feel like heaven if there is no heart in that place, if there isn't vibration and atmosphere in that place. We create atmosphere, vatavaran, this Hindi word, Gujarati word. I think it's the same word probably in Punjabi, I'm not quite sure. Vatavaran. Vata, atmosphere that's created through our words. Our words create the atmosphere. Our thoughts create the atmosphere. Our feelings create the atmosphere. The first thing that touches people is the atmosphere. Before even you open your mouth, people feel your atmosphere that you are creating through who you are and what you are. And so I think it begins with that. And for me, not to buy into other people's conditions and other people's state of being, even while I'm in that atmosphere, how much I can maintain my own internal state of peace is an important thing. And so when I begin to do that, other people will catch that. Eventually they will catch it. It's not that you're not participating or you're not engaging. You are doing all of that. But at the same time, you are not critical. You're not criticizing. You're not negative. You are not looking at others with that negative feelings or seeing what's not working in people as opposed to seeing what is working in people. When you have that, you create an atmosphere about you and other people can see that, and then people want to be in that atmosphere. So it begins with the self.
Do you want anything for Christmas?
No, I have everything. I have everything physically I could possibly want. Internally, yes, I do want a lot possibly. And when I say a lot, it's not in terms of quantity, but yeah, I'd like to be able to connect with God, and I'd like to be able to stay in that connection to such an extent that I never lose it. That's my ultimate desire. I want to be able to connect with other people without, I have my own baggage. I have the stuff. Yes, I sometimes lose it without losing it with people. This would be my, if God was to come in front of me and wave a magic wand and say to me, what do you want for Christmas? I would say, never to raise my voice, or never to become irritated, or never to become upset, or never to become angry. That would be the gift.
You read my wish list.
Probably all of us have that kind of a wish list.
Do you like giving or receiving?
You know, in the giving is the receiving. If you give, then you receive. If you have the consciousness that I want to receive, then you will never arrive at a place where you think that you have. So it's not about receiving, but in the giving is the receiving.
Now, a lot of people, they'll be looking for some gifts, physical gifts.
Yeah.
But not everyone can give gifts because of the circumstances. People are, concerned about cost of living, etc. But what can we give to them that's more meaningful, more lasting?
And now you're talking about physical things?
No, not physical things.
Well, I think all the things that we're talking about here are all the things that we can share. We can share our wisdom. One of the things that people need the most is company. Good company. Company that makes people feel safe. Company that makes people feel they belong. Company that makes them feel that they can take something from being with you. That's the biggest gift that you can give. It's nothing to do with physically what you give and how much you give. It's giving of yourself.
I think you just hit the nail on the head. People often say it's not what you said, but it's how you made me feel. And I think people like company. It's within us. It's in our DNA that there's a sense of belonging. But when we belong, it's not that we're subservient to anyone, but it's one of the, you're my equal, I'm your equal.
But the important thing is that I have to work on my internal space of being that is a good one. That people do like being in my company. It's not that, okay, I decide I'm going to give them company, but actually they don't want my company. They don't want my company because I'm always complaining, I'm always criticizing, I'm always looking to say what somebody's done and what somebody's not done, or my words, I'm talking about people behind their back. All of these things it's not good company. If those are the habits that I have, that's not good company. So if I'm going to give good company to people, I actually have to be good.
I'm going to ask you, just lead us into that vibrational stage that people can experience, that they can, if there's a few gems they can take, it's just how to sort of connect with themselves.
Okay, just sit comfortably and relaxed and alert. Know that all that you actually want to experience, and I reckon every single one of us wants to experience this inner state of being, of total peace and comfort. First of all, comfort with my own self. That the words that I speak, the thoughts that I have, and the actions that I perform makes my conscience clear. So I become aware of this intrinsic nature of goodness that's inside of me. This nature of wanting to share, wanting peace, wanting to give love. I become conscious of these aspects of myself. And I feel good about myself. Yes, I might have those other negative tendencies, but right now I put them aside. And I feel content with myself. Because I have the desire, the willingness to let go and move on, to be this. And each time I have the thought, I am peace, I become peace. And that my compassion wants to offer this peace to others. If I see a situation of discomfort, can I look with the eyes of love and acceptance? And these are the occasions that also allow us to reach out to God, to our eternal guide and our eternal parent, who fills our hearts with unconditional love. I am loved. I am love. And I share love. Each one is different and unique. Can I accept them for what they are? I can already feel my own vibration and energy changing. And I create an atmosphere of safety because I am open to everyone and anyone. Where there is love, there is no fear. I am love. I share love. Just through my being. Om Shanti.